Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We have a list of 14 properties today, and if you're just joining us, what we try and do in Daily Homes is to interpret, add some context, really give you some stuff that you may not know just from looking at a list of homes. And so we're going to start off with this one here on short read. There's some great stuff around this price range on nice big lots towards the end of the episode. So this one on short read is a Spring Ridge, 1357 square feet. There are a couple homes that are maybe a little bit more upgraded, but there's a big cluster of these village towns right at 379, and I think they were very smart to go at this kind of price. Even if you think about the 375 as being a one of those benchmark numbers, 325, 350, 375, 400, those are the brackets that people search on the MLS. So the stuff at 379, if someone stopped their search at 375, this is the one they'd see. They wouldn't even see the other one. So being in a different price bracket, I think, is a very good move for these guys. They're going to do well. Short Read's a great street. Right at the end, there's a park there. Awesome. There's a big park that wraps right around Short Read pretty much. So Woodward is 395. It's been on the market, I think, at 419. They've dropped the price pretty aggressively. It's not a big kitchen. The cabinets don't look that bad. But here's the thing. Why would you buy let's call it an older home in Milton? It's because you want the lot. That's the trade-off. Otherwise, you go buy a new home. But the thing about this one is it's a very tough audience because it's a 90 by 66 foot lot. It's still bigger than like the townhouse you're going to buy for the same price. But I don't know. I don't know if this one, like, who does it really attract? It's not going to attract the people looking for the larger lot who can tolerate an older house. It's a tricky one. This is not an easy home to sell. They are in a price point, though, that I think, like, being in the threes is way different than being in the fours. They're going to get a lot of attention. Barclay is 418.9, and so your crop side, I think they were at 425 or 429 before, right beside the park here. Barclay is a good, quiet street. You've got hardwood floors here. It's hard to sell a vacant house because everything is noticeable. If you have nicks on your walls, if your floors don't look that good, everybody notices. The carpet in this home, you're probably 10, 11 years old on this home. You're going to notice the carpet, if it hasn't been replaced, is a little bit older. All that stuff is very noticeable when you take all the furniture out. It's a good price, though. It should sell, especially with the finished basement, the park, its brick, and its end unit. Those are the big four value points on that one. This on Woodward is 439.9. Now, it has that electric baseboard heat, which we talk about in some of the condo townhouses. What's great about that, if you think about this one here, it's got two kitchens. Landlords love electric baseboard heat because it's easy to fix if there's ever a problem. The tenants can sort of self-maintain it. They're paying for hydro anyway. And so this one has, to me, it has investment property written all over it. They don't cash flow great. I mean, by the time you look at how much this one's going to cost, if you put 20% down, you're probably $2,000 to $2,500 a month. You can kind of get what do you get on the upstairs? Maybe, $1,300. What do you get in the basement? Maybe $700-800. It's not, you're not making tons of money when you look at, mortgage plus property taxes. And anyway, I've said for a long time, Milton is probably not the ideal place to buy an investment property that cash flows, but it's a great place to live. So the values and the rent are kind of off, as the values are so much higher than what you can rent for. It's your numbers, unless you're putting 40-50% down, they don't usually give you a lot of profit. So Rose Heath is 449.9, detached home. Although many of these are linked by the foundation. One long room, pretty standard. I think that's in the basement, although it has a window that's kind of above grade. I'm not sure. I mean, some people carve out a little bit of space in their garage. That's where that could be. Typically, this one has a very standard layout. It's got the long living dining plus the kitchen, and then that bends L shape around the garage. Bedrooms upstairs, there's 3 of them. Bath fitters aren't the prettiest, but they're very easy to keep clean. And there's your finished basement there too. The lot's 100, but the homes are set back. You don't get much more lot on a home like this than you would with most of the other townhouses or detached in the newer area. So it's still a pretty good price. Under $450 for detached is something that really makes sense. So they were, again, strategically placing properties in the right price range can make all the difference. McLaughlin is $469, and they're kind of crap pictures. Probably 3-4 months ago, there was one on Azleton, same model as this, with lighter floors, darker kitchen. I think they sold it like $435, so $69 to me just doesn't seem right. Scott is $479, almost 2,000 square feet. It's a pretty nice layout for a semi-detached called a Southbury by Mattamy. It's on a busier street. It's probably right across the street from P.L. Robertson. Usually anything in the 800s is kind of around that school district. They could have taken the ironing board away. That's not really a big value add. They might get it. The size of this home might push someone. This is, there's a couple that I really like today, but this is a great listing, 50 by 140 feet. It looks like Nona's house or Grandma's house, or it has that kind of look to it. The honey colored floors, you've got kind of the green carpets, you've got this little sort of sheltered part. I mean, it all screams somebody who is probably over the age of 50 or 60, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I think it's charming. It's got a great sized lot, big mature trees, and a double garage under $500,000. I think this is a really good property. And I looked this up actually because I've been in enough homes where it sounds bad. I'm not saying this one does, but old people smell. It exists. You know what it smells like. You've walked into somebody who's aged, who has their house smells a certain way. The chemical is called 2-nonenal. Just a little fun fact for you. I love how they describe it. So they say is perceived as orris, fat, and cucumber. I don't know. Anyway, we produce more of it as we get older. So fun fact, tell your friends that there is such a thing as old people smell. Porchgate was at, I think, 575 or 569. They're at 557 right now. We've got one not far from this one, also looking very good for 559 at 147 Lavery. We sent the email about it yesterday. And California shutters, they've done a good job in the backyard. Granite counters, dark, nice, really, really nice home. And I think the price is definitely right. Von Court is $649,800. It's a Fieldgate Chester model. I've never been a big fan of this floor plan. I think that this family room is very narrow. It's very hard to position furniture. I find the bedroom small. I've never been a big fan of this sort of above the garage. For me personally, I know there's clients that really like it. I think if you're going to watch TV here, that you're going to run into problems with people hearing it. But maybe it's a good place to sit quietly. Maybe it's a hobby room. Maybe it's the kids area where you don't have to show your guests this area, although it's all open here when you walk down the hallway. Anyway, they always sell for a pretty good price. There's a Mattamy version of this kind of split level design that came out, I think, on Monday, if I remember correctly. We've seen these ones sell for this kind of price. So, good luck to them. It's not the home that I would buy personally, but that's okay because there's a lot of homes I wouldn't buy, and the same way as that many of our clients wouldn't buy a lot of different kinds of homes. So Fitzgerald looks good. The thing about Green Park, the builder of this home, the cabinets are so short, it drives me crazy because it looks so much better when the cabinets are higher up, especially when there's no bulkhead. You could really deliver a different kind of experience if those cabinets are higher. That being said, you can buy these cabinets. They're pretty standard and replace these, and you're probably, I would guess you're about $100 to $200 a cabinet kind of thing. So it's not life-changing budget. So anyway, finished basement here. You're about 3,000 square feet of total living space which means you're probably 22, maybe 23 on the high side on the main and second. I like the street, very quiet street. You can walk to the theater, Home Depot, great stuff. You can walk to even the GO train if you wanted to. Now, this is in a different bracket. 650.19 will get them probably half of the eyeballs as if they priced at 650,000. Not even 649.9, 650,000, because they're sitting on that bracket where they're going to be seen in both price ranges. So pricing is really an art, and it's a science, and if you get it right, it makes all the difference. We've got 3 more. We've got this one on Pine Street, which is our listing. Small bungalow. Whoops, let's go back here. I hit the wrong thing. You've got nice side-by-side parking beside the house. No garage, but there's a workshop. You've got exposed wood beams, updated kitchen here. You've got an updated bathroom, laundry area. You've got 3 bedrooms here. The front room is really nice and big. This one's a little bit smaller. This one to the left of when you first walk in the front door. You've got a covered vestibule. You've got a huge backyard here. There's a bit of a slope, so in winter, that's going to be great fun for the kids. But it's very quiet. It's 1 street away from downtown, and we've been kind of pumping this one up for the last little while. They priced it very aggressively. We've got one on Fulton, which is literally right across the street from this one on Pine. And so you've got the difference with this one. They've got, I think, 2 rooms upstairs, plus they have this cottage area, but the lot is somewhat similar. The trees, it's the same kind of idea. You've got a smaller, basically like kind of a bungalow with a loft. So you just get a little bit more living space for basically $35,000 more. And that separate little cottage area would be a great space for an in-law. The only thing I'm not sure is if it has plumbing or not. It only says 1 bathroom in the listing, so I've got to assume it's in the main house, but you could probably run plumbing here and it wouldn't be crazy hard to do. I like both of them. You know, they both have different things to offer. And then there's this one on Willingdon, which is the smallest village town at, it says 1040, I think it's 1051, 2 bedrooms, and they sell in the 340 to 350 range. I don't have anything else beyond that. If it looks good, it's probably going to sell for around this price, and that's the list. So 14 listings, some really good stuff around the 400s, whether or not you're looking in the new or the old part. And I like the double garage on Woodward for $480, and you learned what old people smell is. So I would say that's a successful day, and we'll talk to you later. And this has been Milton Daily Homes. Take care.